Catherine Martinez had always believed that looking fashionable required deep pockets and designer labels. At 24, working as a junior marketing coordinator in downtown Chicago, she earned just enough to cover her rent, student loans, and basic necessities. Her wardrobe consisted mainly of hand-me-downs from her older sister and a few basic pieces she had purchased during college clearance sales. Every morning, she would stand in front of her small closet mirror, feeling frustrated and uninspired by her limited options. The turning point came on a particularly challenging Tuesday morning. Catherine had an important client presentation scheduled for the afternoon, and her usual black blazer had somehow acquired a coffee stain the night before. She rifled through her closet desperately, trying to find something professional yet stylish. Everything seemed either too casual, too worn out, or simply unflattering. As she sat on her bed, nearly in tears, she made a decision that would change her entire approach to fashion. Instead of calling in sick or wearing something inappropriate, Catherine decided to embark on a mission. She would prove to herself and the world that style didn't have to break the bank. Armed with her smartphone and a determination she hadn't felt in months, she began researching budget fashion tips, thrift store locations, and affordable online retailers. That evening, after successfully presenting in a creative outfit she had assembled from pieces already in her closet, Catherine felt empowered. Her first stop was the local thrift store she had always walked past but never entered. The musty smell and overwhelming racks initially intimidated her, but Catherine approached the experience like a treasure hunt. She learned to look past stains and missing buttons, envisioning the potential in each piece. Her first major find was a vintage silk blouse for $3 that would have cost $60 new. The blouse needed minor alterations, which led Catherine to discover her hidden talent for basic tailoring. Catherine began documenting her finds and outfit combinations on social media, initially just for her own reference. She would photograph herself in different lighting, experimenting with poses and angles that showcased her budget finds in the best possible way. Her friends started noticing and commenting on her improved style, asking where she shopped and how she created such polished looks on a limited budget. The young woman developed a systematic approach to budget shopping that became almost scientific in its precision. She would scout stores during specific times when markdowns occurred, sign up for email alerts from her favorite affordable retailers, and use apps that compared prices across different platforms. Catherine learned about fabric quality, understanding which synthetic blends would hold up well, and which natural fibers were worth investing in even at higher price points. Her breakthrough moment came when she discovered a designer dress at a consignment shop for $15. The dress was originally from a high-end department store and still had the original tags attached, suggesting it had been an unworn return. Catherine felt like she had won the lottery. She paired the dress with accessories from various sources. Earrings from a dollar store that looked surprisingly elegant, a belt borrowed from her roommate, and shoes she had owned for years but rarely wore. The confidence boost from that perfect outfit was transformative. Catherine began to understand that fashion was less about expensive items and more about creativity, fit, and confidence. She started experimenting with color combinations she had previously avoided, mixing patterns in ways that shouldn't have worked but somehow did. Her coworkers began asking for style advice, and Catherine realized she had developed an eye for fashion that went beyond simply following trends. One particularly successful outfit combination involved a basic white t-shirt she purchased for $4, layered with a vintage blazer found at a garage sale for $2, paired with well-fitted jeans she had owned for years. She added a colorful scarf borrowed from her mother and ankle boots she had bought on clearance the previous season. The total cost of new items was $6, yet the outfit looked like something straight out of a fashion magazine. Catherine's journey wasn't without its challenges. She experienced several shopping disappointments, including purchasing items that looked great in the store but terrible in natural lighting, and learning the hard way that some alterations were beyond her skill level. However, each mistake became a learning opportunity that improved her future shopping decisions. The young woman began to understand the importance of building a versatile wardrobe foundation. She identified key pieces that could be mixed and matched to create multiple outfits, focusing on classic cuts and neutral colors that wouldn't go out of style quickly. Catherine learned to spot quality construction details like reinforced seams, quality buttons, and well-made zippers that indicated an item would last longer. Her social media following grew organically as friends shared her posts with their networks. Catherine wasn't trying to become an influencer. She was simply sharing her genuine excitement about her budget fashion discoveries. Her authenticity resonated with other young professionals facing similar financial constraints but still wanting to look polished and put together. The transformation in Catherine's confidence was visible to everyone around her. She walked taller, spoke up more in meetings, and felt comfortable in social situations where she had previously felt underdressed. Her supervisor noticed her improved professional appearance and increased confidence, leading to additional responsibilities and recognition at work. Catherine realized that her budget fashion journey had taught her valuable life skills beyond just shopping. She had developed patience, creativity, and resourcefulness. She learned to see potential where others saw problems, and she gained confidence in her ability to solve challenges with limited resources. These skills began to translate into other areas of her life, improving her work performance and personal relationships. Her friends began asking Catherine to help them shop and put together outfits. She discovered that she enjoyed helping others find their personal style within their budget constraints. Each person presented unique challenges that excited Catherine and pushed her to think creatively about fashion solutions. The journey from fashion frustration to budget-style success took Catherine about 6 months of dedicated effort and experimentation. During this time, she assembled an impressive wardrobe of versatile, stylish pieces without spending more than she had previously allocated to clothing. More importantly, she had developed a sustainable approach to fashion that would serve her well regardless of future changes in her financial situation. Catherine's story demonstrates that style is not determined by budget size but by creativity, confidence, and willingness to think outside conventional shopping patterns. Her transformation from a frustrated young professional to a confident, stylish woman happened not through expensive purchases, but through changing her perspective on what fashion could be when approached with intelligence and creativity. 6 months into her budget fashion journey, Catherine had developed enough confidence to push the boundaries of her comfort zone. She had mastered the art of thrift shopping and finding affordable basics. But now she wanted to explore more creative and daring style choices. Her small apartment had become a fashion laboratory, where she would spend weekend afternoons experimenting with different combinations, taking photos, and documenting what worked and what didn't. Catherine's social media presence had grown to include several hundred followers who genuinely engaged with her content. Unlike typical fashion influencers who showcased expensive outfits, Catherine's audience consisted of real people facing similar budget constraints. They appreciated her honest reviews of affordable finds and her willingness to show failed experiments alongside her successes. This authentic approach had created a supportive community of budget fashion enthusiasts who shared tips and discoveries. The young woman decided to challenge herself by creating 10 distinct stunning looks, using items that cost less than $20 each. This self-imposed challenge would push her creativity while proving that affordable fashion could be just as impactful as expensive designer pieces. Catherine approached this project with the dedication of a researcher, documenting every purchase, alteration, and styling decision. Her first experimental look focused on transforming a basic sundress she found at a discount retailer. The dress itself cost $12 and was simple to the point of being boring. However, Catherine saw potential in its classic cut and neutral color. She added a wide belt borrowed from her roommate's collection, layered a cropped cardigan she had thrifted months earlier, and completed the look with statement earrings she crafted herself using supplies from a craft store. The transformation was remarkable, turning a plain dress into a sophisticated ensemble suitable for both work and social events. Catherine's second creation involved mixing patterns in a way that shouldn't have worked but created an unexpectedly chic result. She paired a striped shirt from a clearance rack with a floral skirt found at a consignment shop. The key to making this combination successful was finding pieces that shared similar color tones while maintaining different pattern scales. She added solid-colored accessories to ground the look and prevent it from becoming overwhelming. The third outfit demonstrated Catherine's growing understanding of proportions and silhouettes. She took an oversized blazer from a thrift store and paired it with fitted leggings and ankle boots. The contrast between the loose top and tight bottom created a flattering silhouette that looked intentionally stylish rather than accidentally mismatched. She rolled up the blazer sleeves and added a long necklace to break up the solid color and add visual interest. Catherine's fourth look involved creative layering to extend the wearability of summer pieces into cooler weather. She took a sleeveless blouse and layered it over a thin turtleneck, creating the illusion of a more expensive layered top. She paired this combination with a midi skirt and tall boots, proving that strategic layering could make summer clearance finds viable for year-round wear. The fifth outfit showcased Catherine's ability to dress up casual pieces for more formal occasions. She took a basic pair of dark jeans and elevated them with a silk-like blouse, statement jewelry, and pointed toe flats. The key was in the details. She cuffed the jeans at precisely the right length, chose jewelry that added sparkle without being gaudy, and selected shoes that looked more expensive than their actual price point. Her sixth creation involved transforming a vintage piece into something contemporary. Catherine found a dated blazer from the 1980s with interesting buttons and good bone structure but an unflattering length. She had it shortened by a local tailor for a small fee, transforming it into a modern cropped blazer that looked like it came from a current designer collection. She paired it with high-waisted trousers and minimalist accessories for a fresh, updated look. The seventh outfit demonstrated how accessories could completely change the vibe of basic pieces. Catherine used the same black dress in 3 different ways, by changing the accessories and styling. With a leather jacket and boots, it became edgy and casual. With a blazer and pumps, it transformed into professional attire. With delicate jewelry and a cardigan, it became sweet and feminine. This experiment taught her followers about the power of accessories in creating multiple looks from single pieces. Catherine's eighth look involved mixing high and low price points strategically. She splurged on one quality piece, a well-made white button-down shirt that cost slightly more than her usual budget, and paired it with very affordable pieces like thrifted trousers and discount store accessories. The investment piece elevated the entire outfit, proving that strategic splurging could be worthwhile when done thoughtfully. The ninth creation showcased DIY customization skills Catherine had developed over her fashion journey. She took a plain sweatshirt and added fabric paint designs, inspired by designer pieces she admired but couldn't afford. The customization process was time-consuming but cost only a few dollars in supplies. The resulting piece looked unique and artistic, generating significant interest from her social media followers who wanted tutorials on the technique. Her 10th and final challenge outfit combined everything Catherine had learned about budget fashion. She created a sophisticated evening look using a thrifted midi dress as the base, adding her DIY jewelry, shoes she had owned for years but rarely wore, and a vintage clutch borrowed from her grandmother. The outfit looked like something a fashion editor might wear to an industry event. Yet the total cost of new purchases was under $15. Throughout this experimental phase, Catherine documented not just her successes but also her failures and learning moments. She showed followers outfits that didn't work, explaining why certain combinations failed and how she would approach similar pieces differently in the future. This transparency made her content more valuable and relatable than typical fashion content that only showcased perfect results. The young woman also began exploring sustainable fashion practices during this period. She learned about clothing swaps with friends, where everyone brought items they no longer wore to trade with others. These events became social gatherings that provided new wardrobe pieces while strengthening friendships. Catherine organized several clothing swaps in her apartment, creating a regular event that her friends looked forward to attending. Catherine's experimentation with makeup and hairstyling also evolved during this period. She realized that budget-friendly fashion needed to be complemented by appropriate beauty choices. She learned techniques for creating different looks using drugstore makeup products and simple hairstyles that could be achieved without expensive salon visits. These skills became part of her overall approach to affordable style. Her growing expertise led to opportunities she hadn't expected. Local boutiques began reaching out to Catherine for collaboration opportunities, and a community college asked her to speak about budget fashion to their business students. She also started helping individual clients on a volunteer basis, enjoying the puzzle-solving aspect of creating great looks within specific budget constraints. Catherine's experimental phase taught her that creativity and resourcefulness were more valuable than unlimited shopping budgets. She learned to see fashion challenges as opportunities for innovation, rather than limitations. This mindset shift influenced other areas of her life, making her more confident in her problem-solving abilities and more willing to take creative risks. The documentation of her 10 stunning budget looks became some of her most popular social media content. Followers appreciated the detailed breakdown of costs, sources, and styling tips for each outfit. Many recreated her looks using similar pieces from their own local stores, sharing their results and creating a community of budget fashion enthusiasts who supported and inspired each other. By the end of this experimental phase, Catherine had proven to herself and her followers that affordable fashion could be just as creative, stylish, and confidence-boosting as expensive designer pieces. Her journey demonstrated that the most important elements of great style were creativity, confidence, and the willingness to experiment and learn from both successes and failures. 1 year after beginning her budget fashion journey, Catherine had become an unexpected local celebrity in the affordable style community. Her social media following had grown to over 5,000 engaged followers. But more importantly, she had created real impact in the lives of people who struggled with similar fashion and budget challenges. What started as a personal quest to look stylish without overspending had evolved into a movement that was changing how people in her community approached fashion consumption. Catherine's apartment had become an informal meeting place for women who wanted to learn about budget fashion. Every other Saturday, she hosted what she called style sessions, where groups of 8 to 10 women would gather to share clothing, learn styling techniques, and support each other's fashion journeys. These gatherings had waiting lists, and participants often became friends beyond their shared interest in affordable fashion. The sessions included everything from basic sewing lessons to color analysis to discussions about sustainable fashion practices. The impact of Catherine's work extended beyond fashion into broader conversations about financial wellness and self-confidence. Many of the women who attended her sessions reported feeling more confident in job interviews, social situations, and daily life after learning to dress well within their budgets. Catherine began to understand that her work was about much more than clothing. It was about helping people feel empowered and worthy, regardless of their financial circumstances. Local news outlets started paying attention to Catherine's growing influence. A community newspaper featured her in an article about young entrepreneurs making positive changes in their neighborhoods. The attention led to speaking opportunities at community centers, libraries, and even a local business conference where she talked about creativity and resourcefulness in business and life. Catherine discovered she enjoyed public speaking and was good at making budget fashion concepts accessible to diverse audiences. Catherine's success inspired her to formalize her impact through a nonprofit organization she founded called Closets of Confidence. The organization collected professional clothing donations and provided styling services to women entering the workforce, changing careers, or facing challenging life transitions. Catherine trained volunteers to provide the styling services, creating a network of budget fashion enthusiasts who could help women throughout the region. The nonprofit's first major success story involved helping Maria, a single mother returning to work after several years at home with her children. Maria had lost confidence in her appearance and felt overwhelmed by the prospect of assembling a professional wardrobe on a tight budget. Catherine worked with her to create 5 versatile outfits using donated items and a few strategic purchases. But more importantly, she helped Maria understand how to continue building her wardrobe independently. 6 months later, Maria had received a promotion and credited her improved confidence and professional appearance as contributing factors. Catherine's expertise led to partnerships with local businesses and organizations. A community college hired her to teach a continuing education course called Style on a Shoestring. The course covered everything, from budget shopping strategies to basic alterations to building a capsule wardrobe. Students ranged from recent graduates entering the professional world to older adults changing careers or returning to work after extended absences. The course consistently filled to capacity and received excellent evaluations. The young woman also began working with a local domestic violence shelter, providing styling services to women transitioning back to independent living. These sessions were some of the most meaningful work Catherine had ever done. She witnessed firsthand how looking put together could boost confidence and self-worth during incredibly challenging life transitions. The shelter's director noted that women who worked with Catherine showed improved job interview success rates and generally seemed more confident in their interactions with potential employers. Catherine's social media presence evolved to include educational content about sustainable fashion practices, the psychology of clothing confidence, and financial literacy related to wardrobe building. She interviewed other budget fashion enthusiasts, shared follower success stories, and created detailed guides for specific fashion challenges. Her content maintained its authentic, relatable tone while becoming increasingly sophisticated and informative. The success of her various initiatives led Catherine to consider career changes. Fashion industry professionals had begun reaching out with job opportunities, recognizing her unique combination of styling ability, business acumen, and community impact focus. However, Catherine realized that traditional fashion industry roles might take her away from the community-focused work that had become her passion. Instead of accepting external job offers, Catherine decided to expand her own organization. She applied for grants to fund Closets of Confidence expansion, developed partnerships with workforce development programs, and began training other women to replicate her programs in different communities. Her vision was to create a network of budget fashion educators who could help women everywhere access the confidence-boosting benefits of looking and feeling their best. Catherine's personal style had also continued evolving throughout this period. She had developed a signature aesthetic that balanced professional polish with creative flair. Her outfits consistently demonstrated that budget fashion could be sophisticated, contemporary, and completely appropriate for any situation. She had become a walking advertisement for the possibility of looking amazing without spending excessively. The young woman began writing a book about her experiences and the lessons she had learned about budget, fashion, confidence, and community building. Publishers were interested in her story because it combined practical fashion advice with deeper themes about self-worth, financial responsibility, and social impact. Catherine wanted the book to serve as both a practical guide and an inspiration for others to create positive change in their communities. Her relationship with traditional retail had also evolved. Catherine became an advocate for ethical consumption, encouraging followers to consider the environmental and social impact of their fashion choices. She promoted clothing swaps, mending and alteration services, and thoughtful purchasing decisions. Her influence helped shift conversations in her community away from fast fashion toward more sustainable and mindful clothing consumption. Catherine's work attracted attention from fashion industry leaders who were interested in the growing, sustainable, and affordable fashion movement. She was invited to participate in panel discussions about the future of fashion, where her grassroots perspective provided valuable contrast to traditional industry viewpoints. These opportunities helped Catherine understand how individual actions could influence larger industry practices. The most rewarding aspect of Catherine's journey was seeing other women discover their own styling abilities and confidence. Many of her former style session participants had gone on to help other women in their own circles, creating a ripple effect of fashion empowerment throughout the community. Catherine received regular messages from women sharing their successes, career achievements, and personal milestones that they partially attributed to improved confidence gained through better styling. 2 years after her journey began, Catherine's life looked completely different than she had ever imagined. She had left her marketing coordinator position to focus full-time on Closets of Confidence and related activities. Her income came from a combination of grant funding, speaking fees, consulting work, and online course sales. More importantly, she had found work that aligned perfectly with her values and utilized all of her skills and interests. Catherine's story had become proof that individual passion projects could grow into significant community impact when approached with authenticity, dedication, and genuine care for others. Her journey from frustrated young professional to community leader demonstrated that expertise could be developed through experimentation and practice, and that helping others could become a sustainable career path. Looking back on her transformation, Catherine often marveled at how a simple desire to look better on a budget had led to such profound personal and professional changes. She had discovered talents she didn't know she possessed, developed confidence she had never experienced, and created positive impact she had never imagined possible. Her story continued to inspire other women to pursue their own creative solutions to life challenges, proving that individual initiative could create lasting, positive change. The 10 stunning budget outfits that had started as a personal challenge had evolved into a movement that was changing how her entire community thought about fashion, confidence, and possibility. Catherine's journey demonstrated that with creativity, persistence, and genuine desire to help others, Anyone could transform their own challenges into opportunities to create positive impact in the world.